still has a large lead over the rest of the primary field. The Economist YouGov poll gives Biden 27% of the vote. That's a 12-point lead over Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator Elizabeth Warren finishing with 12%, Mike Buttigieg taking 10%, and Senator Kamala Harris finishing with 9%. Other national polls conducted last week had Biden out in front by as much as 19 points. To discuss the narrowing numbers, we're joined by Vecchio, an attorney and Republican strategist, and David Morey. David is the co-author of The Leadership Campaign and a Democratic strategist. Thank you both for being with us. David, let's start with you. As we saw there, the polls show that Biden is still ahead, and Bernie Sanders is coming in second. He's now attacking Biden for what he calls Biden's middle ground policies. He says that Democrats are not going to defeat Trump unless they bring, quote, excitement and energy, which is only possible, according to Sanders, with a, quote, new and progressive agenda. What do you think this means for Biden? Does it push him more and more to the left?
I don't think so, Michelle. It's good to be with you. I think Biden is a strong frontrunner, and he's not, I think, the Bob Dole of the Republican Party, where he lost to Clinton in 1996. Biden, if he wins the nomination, still a long way to go. We're 20 days away from the first debate, for gosh sakes. I think he's going to be a very strong opponent, and the White House, I understand, believes he's the strongest opponent against Trump because he does grab that missing middle. I would argue the President Trump has overserved his base more than any president in modern political history. So I think Bernie wants to go hard left. I think the party is actually more in the center left, and Biden represents that. That's why he's ahead in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. He's ahead of Trump in Texas as of yesterday. The last Democrat to win Texas was Jimmy Carter. So, Biden's in a very strong position, but a lot can happen.
A lot can happen, Ken. And many would argue that it's important that Biden sticks to this moderate center position. We're hearing his thoughts on abortion. The campaign saying that he still supports a controversial ban prohibiting the use of federal funds for certain abortion services. Campaign aides say that Biden still supports the Hyde Amendment that prevents government health programs like Medicaid from paying for abortions, except in cases of rape, incest, or to save the life of the woman. Now, he appears to be the only Democratic White House hopeful who's come out in support of this ban. Do you see him keeping the stance?
I'll give him a little bit of applause for that, but it's too bad that he doesn't go any further than that and totally support the government not putting any money towards the death centers like Planned Parenthood. That said, I think that this is completely politically smart of Biden to be in the center because all these other candidates are going so far left. All the other candidates that are on the higher end of the polls, even ones that are near the bottom, like Booker, they're still, going completely far left. You do have a couple other people like Hickenlooper, the former governor, the former governor from Colorado, and Amy Klobuchar that are kind of center. But Biden, he's got the biggest.
Booed off the stage at the Democratic convention in California.
When you're dealing with these like super far left groups that are at somewhere like the California Democratic Convention, you're going to expect that. But overall, the only chance that a Democrat has at even getting close to Trump is if they go center. People are completely fed up with this, with everything that's leading towards socialism and communism.
His campaign is sort of hedging their bets. They did say that he would maybe reevaluate that position depending on what happens with abortion access currently protected under Roe versus Wade. David, let's focus on Nancy Pelosi now, because the speaker reportedly telling senior Democrats that she'd like to see President Trump in prison. Pelosi was arguing with House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler. This was in a meeting on Tuesday night. Nadler wants to launch impeachment proceedings. According to multiple Democratic sources familiar with that meeting, Pelosi said, and I quote, "I don't want to see him impeached. I want to see him in prison." Now, according to these sources, Pelosi still prefers to see Trump defeated at the ballot box and then landing up in prison potentially if he gets prosecuted for his alleged crimes. Rhetoric aside, David, is Pelosi right to try and dissuade Nadler from impeachment?
Well, I think we don't exactly know what she said in the context in which she said it, so there's a little dispute about it, but let's assume she said that. I think the Democrats are smart to stay away from the impeachment argument now until the process takes hold. A lot of us are troubled by the Mueller report. 1,000 prosecutors said he would be prosecuted if he wasn't president of the United States. There's an awful lot of problems in the way the president, I think, has behaved, the administration, the campaign. But you've got to play out the process here. Only the Democrats could sort of self-defeat themselves and get stuck in this sort of box where they're